Hello and good morning, everybody. Today is April 4th, 2026. This is my weekly sketch card video for you all. I have a really fun one today and that it can be used in multiple ways, and you can do just about anything with this. So I am Sue Sanders of Suzie Q Stamping, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can shop with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at SuzieQ's.stamping.stampinup.net. If you don't already have a demonstrator, I would love to be your creative coach. I have Daisy here with me today, and she is nudging me to go outside and play because that's what our routine is every morning. All right, well, let's just jump right in. Let me get this. I forgot to bring this out. So we have a new product of the month for the month of April, and it is the Eyelet Bloom dies. I have mine on order, so I can't wait to get it in so that I can play with it because it looks like fabulous fun. Okay, let's set those aside. Today we are going to be working with some of the new in colors that will be coming out in May for everybody, but as a demonstrator, you can order them early. So if you would like to be a demonstrator and get some really cool perks, send me a message and I can explain to you what you'd have to do. You can either do it as a business or you can just do it for yourself and be a hobby demonstrator. And then you get a discount on your product and you get to order products before the general public does. All right, I am looking for. I cannot show you the inside of the catalog, but this is the outside, and it does have 87 pages of ideas and product in it. We are changing the way Stampin' Up! Does their catalogs. They're going to be producing 3 catalogs a year. They're going to start with May through August of 2026 and then go through September to December and then January to April. And I'm assuming that all of the catalogs will be about the same size. So it's not too thick, it's not too heavy, it's very easy to navigate. Again, they do have things in the suites and the bundles and then the standalone stamps and the dies. There will be the basic supplies in every catalog, so you don't have to go back and refer to one. So that includes like your adhesives and your inks and your paper and things like that. But we're going to be working today with the in colors and some of the brand new paper that we have, and all of the measurements and the products that I used today are going to be down in the description below the video so that you can refer back to that. These are the in colors, 4 of them anyway. We have Crisp Cantaloupe, Hydrangea, Golden Glow, and Peaceful Pine. We also have the Barely Blush, which is a light pink, and I haven't done anything with that one yet, but I'm working on it. All right, these are the new stamp pads where they are magnetic, so they magnetize and they open up, and then you can stick them together to do stamping with or to have them set out on your workspace, and then you just close them up and then the ink is automatically upside down for you. All right, so I really do love these. Let me show you the new black hybrid. This is going to take the place of the Stays On black as well as the Memento black. So you can use this for your watercoloring or your alcohol markers. I found, but I think it's just my hands, have a hard time opening this. So I put a label on mine so that I have a tab, but I do that with getting my cards out of my wallet as well. So, okay, we are going to be using some of the beautiful paper that we have coming out. One is the Waterside Retreat. And if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, your April Paper Pumpkin kit is going to coordinate with this paper, this suite of products. So it's really pretty. So here is the waterfront Waterside retreat. I'm sorry. So you have a wood grain, and then on the back of that you have the life jackets and I call them the little fobs that you put your keys on that float. And then we have a piece that has life jackets and oars. And the back side of that piece is the stripe, and we're going to actually be using this. We have a really pretty check that's got old olive, along with a lighter tone of the peaceful pine. And then we have some seagulls. And I'm having to do something a little bit different when I'm looking at the designer series paper. I'm kind of quartering it off so that it doesn't look so intimidating. Like, how am I going to use all these seagulls flying in the sky? So you kind of just put it into thirds, and then that way it gives you a better idea of how to use that. Here's another piece that's got seagulls flying all over it, so that is really pretty. And on the back side of that you have bicycles, so you can cut around these bicycles using a die, or you can fussy cut. I don't like to fussy cut, so if it has a die, I'm going to use it. Okay, this particular set does not have a die of a bicycle, but you could definitely cut it out with a die and place it on there. Here's some, looks like little waves. And on the back of that, it has the fish. So I like those. I like the colors of these fish. I'll be using that for some masculine cards. Then I have this stripe that's in Misty Moonlight. And what I like about this side, and we are going to be using this piece down here. I'm going to show you. I cut this into my 2x2 squares, so I got just part of my design, but you can use this whole one as a background to your cards. So that is the paper that we're going to be using today. So here, like I said, I had started cutting these out so that I could get the one. So you just kind of cut them apart, and then you can use either side of the paper on that side, or you can use this for journaling. So it's a really nice set, and it coordinates well with current products that we do have. The other paper that I'm going to be using is called the Bloom Boutique, and this is really, really pretty paper. I've already started using these two pieces for our cards today. And again, I am picturing this as smaller sheets so that they're not so intimidating, but these have tiny flowers on them, which I really like. They're not really big and bold. So then that's the other side of that paper, which we're using that. Then we've got this piece that has like the Barely Blush on it with the Calypso Coral, the Peaceful Pine, and some gold accents. And it has blue dots on the other side of that. I absolutely love these blues. This is the Hydrangea blue. Hydrangea U. And then on the back side of that, you have the green with little flowers. So I have to say I'm loving this pack of paper. And here's some more that is got the Calypso Coral and the gold. And being on camera just does not give it the same effect. And then on the back side of that, you have the plain blue. Then you have a green. And then you have this blue that's on a white background. And these all have gold accents inside. And then this one, of course, and we're using it today along with this side of the paper that we're going to be using. All right, so let's get into our sketch today. Like I said, it's kind of an easy sketch, not Oh, it's got quite a few little pieces to it, but not too bad. We're going to set those aside. Bring in my discontinued paper sketch that I put together so that you can see what we do. So our pieces are, you have a piece of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. If you've never watched me before, I only use a quarter of a sheet so that it's not so thick, so that I can put it in my little photo album here that I have all of my sketches done in. Now, I got these at the dollar store, so they're like $1.25, but they hold 48 pictures. So that's pretty good. You can get 48 of the sketch cards that you make up. And then when you're needing ideas, you can just go back to this and pick out a different sketch that you want to make. And you can make them turned this way or this way, any way you want. So give me just 1 second. I have to let somebody know that I'm recording and not to come waltzing in talking because my husband is bringing me a Scooter's coffee. Okay, so this is our number 13 sketch for the year of 2026. And we are doing it on April 4th. I have to change that because I put April 6th. Don't ask me why, but it's April 4th. That eraser doesn't work. Let's get one that does. So I can change that right away. Otherwise, I'll be confusing myself. April 4th. Okay, so I have a piece of cardstock. Then I have a mat that is 4 by 5 1/4. I have a border strip, and that measures 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then I have, it looks like I've lost, somewhere, it's got to be here, because I know I had, otherwise I will have to cut me another piece. I have 2 squares that are 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. They will go there like that. And then I have 2 pieces that are 2 by 2, and they will go on there like so. And so when you have your card finished, it will look something like this. Okay, we're going to put together 2 cards today, showing you how to do it. And then I have a third card, so stay tuned until the very end. So let's go ahead and mount all of these pieces. And I'm just using my Stampin' Seal Plus. And I guess I'm trying to do it too fast. So here is my layer. So it's going to layer right there and get it just as even as you can. Okay. Oh, he brought me my delicious Scooters. I love Scooters. Yummy, yummy. In my tummy. I love it. All right, let me get this off of my desk so I don't get my paper wet, having to move some stuff around. All right, so once we get that done, then we're going to lay down our border stripe, or strip, not stripe. Now, you could do this with designer series paper, with cardstock. I'm going to show you one today that I did with cardstock and designer series paper. So you can see kind of both of them. And then on these, you can either use designer series paper on one and then use it the other one for your greeting if you'd like. Get that centered on there. So I'm going to show you several different cards. And like I said, this is an easy card that you can put together. So then you're just going to lay these down like so, overlapping them. So that's all there is to it. So it's very easy. You can also use up scraps for this card because you've got those 2 1/4 squares plus the 2-inch squares, and then that 1 3/4 inch piece. So there is the basic of the sketch. Okay, let's get started. I've already got some stamping done just to take up less time. So we have our Peaceful Pine cardstock. We have a piece of basic white that's going to go on the inside. I have my 2 squares that are the Peaceful Pine. I have 2 2-inch squares that come out of that Bloom Boutique paper. I have a little tag that I stamped just because on white paper, punched it out of that triple banner punch, and then I just inked over it very lightly with that Peaceful Pine ink, just so that it wasn't stark white. Then I have my strip of paper that is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And this is a piece of the Golden Glow, and I embossed it. Now, this is an embossing folder that is retired, but I thought it looked really good with this particular card. You can use any embossing folder that you want to. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to use glue for this because sometimes the embossed paper likes to rip if I am using my tape runner. Let me get this to flow here. I think I have to take this apart and wash it because it's got glue in it. I just keep a sewing pin here on my desk. It's not wanting to flow today. Let's see what we're going to do here. Okay, so we're going to do something else. Let me show you. I'm going to get my silicone mat here. And I have a sponge that I keep in a little airtight container. And this is just one of those sponges that Stampin' Up! Used to have. They don't have them anymore, but you can find them online on Amazon and other stores. And I just cut it in quarters. And then I have a binder clip attached to it to keep my fingers from getting all glued. I'm just going to put a little glue on my silicone mat and just kind of dab that into my sponge like so. And now I'm just going to dab that onto my card. And I'm going to get another silicone mat out here so that if I go over the edges, I'm not getting it on my surface. So sometimes these silicone mats, it's good to have a couple of them because you want to be able to keep the glue from your surface. And I'm just putting a generous amount of glue there. And we're going to lay this one down. Lay our Golden Glow embossed piece. Like so. Give us a little bit more glue. I don't know why this is not wanting to come out for me today, but it doesn't. I do prefer my precision point over my regular bottle from the green glue. Oops, well, that was really blobbed out. All right, now we're going to take our strip of our Designer Series paper. And I could use this side, but that brings in a whole nother color. So I'm just keeping it with the same side that I have my squares cut out of. And we're just going to ink, or not ink, we're just going to dab our glue on that because we don't need a whole lot. Okay. And one good thing about these silicone mats is that glue will dry and then you can peel it right off. And I'm going to lay this paper right down along that edge. Flip it over and give it a good rub on the back. And I'm going to wipe that glue off my fingers. All right, so we have that part done. Now we're going to glue our squares together. another one over here. Okay. This one up. Line it up on our 2 1/4 inch square. There we go. So I don't know about you all, but our weather here is, well, I don't know. Mother Nature doesn't decide, it hasn't decided what it wants to do. We've had really a lot of rain, which is good, but I would prefer it to rain slower and not thunderstorm, where I have to have wind and rain that is so much. So I'll set that aside. Now we're ready to attach these to our card, and I'm going to attach it just like this, so where they're laying flat. Just going to take my glue sponge and sponge some glue on the back of my card, or on the back of my squares. Going to lay that one down about there. So see what I meant about it being easy? I mean, you could mass produce these cards very nicely. I could see these being done for Christmas cards or Thanksgiving cards, all kinds of occasions. Lots of birthday cards. You can make them masculine, you can make them feminine, you can make them for kids. I'm going to lay this one down here like so. And then I have that little just because, and we're going to, I think, attach that with some mini glue dots, just to give it a little bit of dimensional, and pop that up off there. All kinds of pieces that, glue dots that are partially used. How many of you do that? I have a sheet, and then all of a sudden I need some, and oh, I just grab another sheet instead of looking for the one that has some off of it. I'm going to go ahead and do 3 across there. Oh, that's a little bit crooked. Let's pick that up and see if we can get that to shift for us. There we go. It's just a little crooked. Okay. So here we are with our dimensionals. Just because. So there is the front of our card. We have to do some embellishments on it. So we're going to pull out some of our in color dots for 26 to 28. I love these colors, I tell you. But then there hasn't been too many in colors that I haven't fallen in love with. There's been a few, but not too many. And I think I'm going to go with the green on this card. And I'm going to put one down here. And I'm going to put one up there. And let's put another one on there. So there is the outside of our card. Let me know what you think of that. And on the inside of this, because it says just because on the front, let's see, what was I going to do here? Is this the one? I'm going to make this just a friendship card, and I'm going to take the Peaceful Pine, and you can take your magnetic pad and just put the two pieces together, and it gives you a thicker part to hold on to, which I discovered yesterday because I was having difficulty doing it because it's a lot thinner than our other ink pads. So I'm going to ink up my greeting. And then I can just set my ink pad down and it's going to stay magnetized to the lid. And I'm going to put "You Always Make Me Smile." So it says, "Just because you always make me smile." Then you can take and write a little note in there. I'm going to take a leaf. I have all the stamp sets listed down below what I've used. And I'm going to stamp off because I don't want a real dark leaf. So I'm going to stamp it off. I love the texture of that leaf. And we're going to put that down there to decorate the inside of our card. Okay, so there's the inside. We're going to close this up. And like with anything new, it's kind of, you gotta, oh, I don't know, practice in how you do things. So these are different ink pads for us, a different style altogether than what I can ever remember. And it's just going to take a little while to get used to. I do know that you have to pounce your stamp more on these than you did on the foam pads. Okay, so there we go. Just because you always make me smile. So that's card number 1 today. Let me know what you think about that. All right, our second card, we're going to be using the Hydrangea U, some more of that Blossom boutique paper. So this is going to be our layer for the Blossom Boutique. I just love this paper. Okay, then I am using the other side of this because there is some of that Calypso coral in that paper, like so. And then I have, and I've already stamped these, we have these flowers stamped on white in Calypso coral. And we're going to stick this all down now. And I can use my tape runner on this because it's not embossed. I just find that sometimes embossed paper, you need to use the glue and it doesn't rip the paper then for you. Okay. And this pattern of paper is not necessarily directional, so it doesn't matter if it's going, what direction it's going, because the flowers are just all over it. I want to thank everybody that's joined me today. That's not going to be even. Okay, come on. Pop there. There we go. I'm really working at trying to get things more even. Sometimes it works and sometimes it does not. Okay, so there's our mat. Now let's do our layer. We're going to layer it right here. Like so. We're going to put our 2-inch squares down onto our 2 1/4 inch. Like so. And how I made my flowers was I took and I stamped it on a 2-inch piece of basic white by about 4 inches wide or so, maybe 3 inches wide. And I stamped them 3 times with the flowers and then the stems. And then I just cut that one piece into 2-inch pieces. So now we're going to lay these down. Like that. Let me know what you think of this paper, because I really like it. And then I'm just going to lay the other square down on top of that. Okay. So that is the inside. Let's work on the outside, or this is the outside. Let's work on the inside. So on this one, I have You're the Sweetest, and I'm just putting Sending Happy Thoughts, and I'm going to do that in the Hydrangea U. Oops. There we go. And with these new felt pads, you have to pounce. So you have to kind of bounce it really hard. Whereas our foam pads, you wanted to kiss it. Well, now you want to pounce it. Okay. Sending Happy Thoughts. There we go. And we are going to put another leaf on the inside of this, just like we did before on the other one. So pounce it. I'm going to stamp off. And now I'm going to stamp the leaf down on the inside. And we have that done. And now we can attach this to the inside of our card. Okay. Let me know, ladies, if... Oh, I must not have the right touch today with my adhesive runner. But it is well, it's not brand new. But sometimes if you don't have... Well, what's it doing? You won't do it in the same spot. If you don't have the right touch to it, sometimes it'll rip your paper. You don't want to go real fast. So now I'm going to put that on the inside. Lovely, lovely, beautiful. I love it. And now for our dots, I think we're going to use the, let's use the Hydrangea hue dots. And where did I put my, there it is. And for this one, I'm going to just use 3 of the small ones, and I'm going to put them up here in the corner in a row. Okay. So there we have this one. Now let's see. Let's spruce this up a little bit. I don't think that's the one that I got any in. We are going to take our Winkostella pen, and we are going to put some Winkostella on our flowers here. We're not going to cover them completely. We're just going to kind of give some streaks through it. Just to kind of, it'll darken up that ink a little bit, but it's also going to give it just a tad bit of sparkle for us. Ask my daughter. She is the Winkostella queen. Every card, masculine, feminine, fun, birthday, sympathy, every card gets Winkostella. She needs to own stock in the company. She cannot wait until those new glitter pens come out, the Winkostella type glitter pens that are going to be in the catalog. They are really cool. So there we just kind of did a little bit of Winkostella. You can't really see it much on the camera, but you can see where it's darker. So that is card number 2 today. Let me get this stuff cleaned out of the way. And I can bring in my 3rd card that I made using the Waterside retreat paper. So that is this card here. So this is the panel that was already on the paper, and I just cut it down to 2 by 2 squares, and I just kind of measured it until I could see where I wanted to place and get it trimmed off. And then there's that striped paper that's got the pool party and the old olive, and then I used the peaceful pine dots, and on the inside I've got today is your day, have a great birthday. And then I did an overstamp. I did the little breezy, grassy stuff. I did it with Stamped Off on Third Generation with the Peaceful Pine, and then I came in with the Golden Glow, and I did it another, so that there's kind of two different colors there. So that is that card. So let's bring in all three of them, and you all tell me which one you like best. We have card number 1, card number 2, and then card number 3. So let me know in the comments which is your favorite card from today. I'd love to know. If you do this sketch, please take a photo of it and upload it to my Suzie Q's Facebook page, and I will put it into our sketch card Saturday. It's called Coffee Chat. Excuse me, Coffee Chat and a Card. But that's like that's a secret group that way if you're sending the card to somebody and they follow you and you post pictures or whatever, they're not going to see what you've made. But anyway, I can move it for you. It is an invitation. So if you would like to be a part of that group, send me an email to Suzie Q's Stamping at, I'm having to think this out.
Suzie Q's?
Yeah, Suzie Q Stamping at gmail.com. I was like brain dead for a minute there. So don't forget to order your, place your order this month for the product of the month. Order $75, and you're able to purchase the Eyelet Blooms die for $5. And here is my SuzieQStamping.stampinup.net is my website that you can go stamping, or you can go purchase at my website. So thank you everybody for joining me today. You all have an awesome Easter, which is tomorrow. I hope the weather holds and we don't have any really nasty weather. Have a blessed Easter and a wonderful week, and we will see you next week on April 11th. Bye.